Hello Sagittarius, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching my videos, subscribing and or leaving a thumbs up or a comment. That's awesome if you do. And I just want to encourage you, those of you actually who haven't subscribed to my channel. Either now, during the video, or after the video. So that would be cool. And thank you in advance for doing that. So this is for Sagittarius for the month of July 2021. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. So whether, Sagittarius falls under either one of those signs for you on your astrological chart, this is for you. I'm also feeling that there may be, this is for those of you who are here too, that are watching for Sagittarius, for who that knows somebody who is Sagittarius as well. So welcome. So just a reminder that these reads are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, then don't hold on to it. Basically, let it go. And it may be that it isn't right for right now. Maybe more so that this is for a more of a, what do you call it, a forecast in a sense of in the future. In the near future instead, and therefore you may not understand why it is not resonating. So so just check out one of those other check out one of your other signs, so it may be able to give you a little bit more insight into what this is about for you. If not, and it may be like this is not for you, but one of the other signs maybe reads it, maybe one of the other reads with one of the other signs is more pertinent to you. So if you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a free calculator on it, and it will work it out for you. Let me see. That's what I think I need to do. Yeah. All my little housework thingies, introduction thingies. So there's something about something not falling into place or not coming out right. So coming out right in the way that you thought it was going to have come out. So, or hoped it would. So what I'm hearing here, okay, where are we going? So the new moon has come out with calm. And with it as well, so it did come out together. So I was going to line it up with this, no, it didn't seem right. So something may have been like lining up, and so where you think or where you thought you were going to go isn't quite where it took you. However, something else has come out of it. So it may be that you're like in a reassessing mode at the moment, and reviewing and re-looking at how and why, and what's what could have been done differently, not so much, well, better too, but differently, I'm hearing, in order for a different outcome. So it may be like somebody's pointed out to you, or you're pointing out to yourself. It's like, well, maybe if I had done this way or that way, it might have turned out better. However, I do feel like underneath it though, there is something about a silver lining at the end of the day. So it's like there's something coming up. So anyway, the new moon, I'm going to start off with that. So I do feel like this full moon, I was going to say old moon, but new moon, this full moon that's we've just gone through is, and it's still, the energy is still around though. On saying that on the, was it on the 27th on Friday, or the 25th? Sorry, the 27th is today. Hello. So, the 27th, it's the 29th today. Shit. The 27th, I don't know, what was the 27th on the Sunday? The 25th is when the full moon was. So it might have pushed and pulled some stuff out for you to review. So on the 27th, which was the Sunday, you may have had a little bit more energy, or something that was energy about you in the sense of getting things done or pulling things together. Decluttering and that sort of thing, even your mind as well as your body, as well as your physical self, as well as physically around the house, in order to help you to understand or process what is going on. But there's a new moon, and with this new moon is coming up, I'm not sure exactly when that is for July. It's like I do feel looking at these things as a new moon, as in a new direction or a new way of being, thinking, feeling, doing things as well with whatever has come out. And I do feel, even though with what has happened, there's a sense of calm, okay? So that is around you. So I wouldn't be surprised with this new moon that is going to come, that will be coming up. Like I said, I'm not sure. I'll have to check that one out. It'll be, it probably will bring about a sense of calm around you. But even now, I feel like some of you, even though with what has happened, it's like it's like a new moon energy anyway. And it's like there's this sense of calm about you when you're probably thinking, I should be really like frazzled. And to a point that, yes, I kind of am, but it's like not in the way that you used to be or you could be in the past. So what I'm hearing here is like shine your light, and seeing here what this is from the Collective of Angels cards that we've created. I've created with them. So shining your light, and they're just saying like to help, like help you push past whatever has gone on. So it could have been to do with a career, or a career, a new job or an old job or something like that's happened with an old job, but even it could have been a relationship that this is related to, or a possible relationship, but something to do with, where you've kind of maybe, thinking or feeling that you've handled things, I wouldn't say fully wrong, but there could have been there was room for tweaking or improvement on saying that, or where you could have ended up with a different sort of an outcome. However, it's like what I'm hearing is like just let your shine and raise your vibration so you can learn from it. The other next card is like, yes, you can. So you may be feeling like, no, you can't raise your light or shine your light. And it's like, because I'm feeling you may have gone, some of you, not all of you, may have gone in this little really weird space. So it's like, wow, what have I done wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve this? Or what did I, And it's like, well, yes, you can pull yourself out of that, because I feel like, you've been there before, and this is just like, one of those moments where in a way it's like maybe a tower moment, could be saying, where you've learned something and you've learned it differently, you've learned it differently, and it's come about differently to how you normally, like how things would turn out for you if you were in a similar or situation or going through a similar experience. But it's like, okay, this is a time for reflection, not deflection, okay, is where they're talking about it. And then it's like looking forward, okay? Looking forward, because I feel, in a way, this has all happened because it's, it's pushed you outside of a comfort zone that you maybe have been sitting in for a little while, or not so much, for some reason, may not be sitting in, but you've been dancing around and not like actually like taking something and moving and creating it that is of your own, an expansion, whether it be a business or a creative idea, or could be art, it could be something around home, and just like you, something, a project that you're wanting to be, you've wanted to do around home, but you haven't put any energy or as much as what you've needed to put into it. So it's kind of like, for some of you, I feel like there's that feeling that it's blowing up in your face, or others may have seen it like as it blowing up in your face, and it's like, well, didn't really mean it to be like that, but it's like that's how it's happened. And it's like, okay, so there's this, that's where that sense of like, what just happened here? I thought I was on the right track. And like I say, like Spirit is saying, through me to tell you, it's like there's a yes and a no to that. And it's kind of, it was like, in a way, an exercise that was, it's almost like you presented yourself with that exercise to see how you would cope with it or what was going to happen. So anyway, we've got the Prince of Swords here. So there's something in shifting, even though with what has happened, it's like he brings through like a new energy, like a young energy, because there's a young energy. So the Prince of Swords has come through with this energy of movement. Okay, so the Princess of Swords in this deck is the Page. So there's something that, there's with this newness of the Page or the Princess of energy moving into the Prince of the Knight, There's something has the ability to move quite quickly. But I'm hearing like sometimes we can move maybe a little bit too quickly. So when he comes in, he can be have quite an overwhelming energy. And so I've just noticed I'm moving around again. So it may bring a little bit of uncomfortability after what you've just been through. For some of you, I feel like you are maybe going through that whirlwind of energy at the moment. Or it maybe it's just all coming, it's maybe next month where it's coming up, where it could come up. So, oh gosh, there's something happening here where it's like, I want to keep talking, I want to talk really fast. I'm just saying, no, hang on a minute. So that's what this one here is. It's like, maybe it's like, don't push yourself, or don't get too carried away. For some of you, I feel like this is about not rushing things, because this energy here, he can come in and do things, or, you know, bring in this energy where I feel like there may be, you may be needing to take it a little bit slower and have a think about things before you rush into something, okay, or make a decision in some way or form. So it's like just being mindful of that you're not doing it, you know, on an emotional level, you know, out of anger or sadness, or, you know, or whatever it is for you that you with a decision that you may. Some of you may look at it as live to regret. Others of you may look at it as, you know, that you may look at it slightly differently. Is that not so much regret, but you may think, oh gee, I wish I'd have done that differently. However, you're not going to, like, you know, you're not trying too deeply over spilt milk with it. It's like, okay, well, I can look at this, how can I rectify this, or what can I do, take from this experience to make it, you know, so I don't go there again. Or do I, you know, set on a new path, but with that idea, but do it differently, whatever it is for you. So the Nine of Swords there, I feel like there's something to do with communication. It could have been the way that you communicated, or the way that, so be mindful about how you communicate with things. But I'm hearing like speaking your truth on saying that. The Nine of Swords comes through here as well on a physical level here. It was, oh, shivers. So there's something is like, I just dropped that on the candles. It didn't burn, but it's just like, so something is clearing or clearing away. The nines for me is about something is coming to an end, and it may have been a little bit, nightmarish, you could say, on saying that with this one. For you, and you know, not a lot of negative things may have come from it, but you're moving away from that. So there seems to be a turning point that actually, yes, you can turn things around with the 7, okay, and it all depends. And going back to the moon, because the moon here is I'm really drawn to that moon. It's like there's a new moon coming, so this is about like a new cycle on saying that. So there are new ideas and things that are coming up. So, but you can move through that with the 7 of Swords, showing that it's like, if this is about you being mindful and aware of the thoughts that you know, of what's going on in your head, that turn something into a negative way of thinking about something rather than a positive. So you've got the 7 of Wands here. There's something moving on as well. And you've had, you know, you've like, I'm seeing that as like you've danced your way around things. So this is you know, looking forward. The 7 of Wands, it's like, okay, let's pick yourself up, let's get going on a soul level, and you're moving towards something else in a positive, like there's a boost, there's an energy, something comes out of that. So with the 7 of Swords, okay, I'm going to turn it around and look at it differently and just get moving. So he's almost like what I'm seeing there is like taking up the challenge. So with this one here is like, when it reminds me of when they do in the bull ring, I don't advocate for that sort of this, how they do the bull thingamajig and kill it, but it's not me. But that's that stance where I'm ready to take on something now. I'm ready to get moving. I'm ready to, like, in that sense, he's showing me that strong stance. I'm going to you know, fend off, or I'm going to protect myself from, but also I'm ready to go. I'm not seeing it fully. Some of you fully like that for everybody, but I'm feeling like some of you is like, it's more, there is that side that I've just said, but it's more as, and yes, I'm going to, you know, fend off what is there, but it's more about, yeah, I'm ready to get going. Even with, regardless of whatever that is out there or whatever has happened, I'm ready to get going, and I'm ready to, you know, fend off like that raging bull, okay? So, yeah, okay, yeah. So if you can imagine like that bull like snorting and going towards you, it's like that's that sort of thing. And that's what the vision that they've given me. And like I say, it's not for, I don't, you know, it's not my thing, that, but it's just the way that he's poised there. He's ready to like just get going, and fend off whatever it is along the way, and that serves him no purpose for his higher school because he's walking forward. The Empress here is in reverse, so with the mind, so you may not be seeing much success and feeling it at the moment because your mind's not in that mindset, and you know, and fertility and new growth, but turning it around, the turning around, you know, Spirit is saying like keeping it in that, you know, keep going, shift your perspective. There is a beautiful relationship that's shining your light, and I feel like this is, for most of you, this is about you, okay? But it's like you know, creating that amazing relationship with yourself on an emotional level with what has been happening or happened or about to happen. It's like, I do feel like this is kind of, there is a new beginning, but it's like turning something around to your mind around you, because this is in mind, body, spirit, soul sort of flow. So it's like your soul is saying, come on, get up, get round, turn things around. You can turn things around. Things have been turned around before. So this is getting up and getting out and moving forward and moving on upwards, outwards, whatever it is, expanding your energy. Because this, you know, Empress is here, and she's like waiting for you, or you're waiting for it or her to help you with this energy. The energy is here, okay? And the energy is there all the time pretty much, but it all depends on how we look at it, how we feel into it, or how we sense it for ourselves, for whatever, you know, or to whatever degree, or how, you know, what it feels for us. So any sort of movement towards success is, you know, is movement, basically, whether it's at snail's pace, rabbit's pace, dog's pace, you know, or whatever, crab pace, fishy pace, whatever. So the Two of Cups, something is moving where I feel like a lot of you will, you know, out of this, it's like you create a wonderful relationship with yourself, you know, on an emotional level, and get to know yourself better. Others of you, it could be somebody else that's in your space. It's like having like gone through all that, it clears the way for you to be able to start to build better relationships. There's some sort of union for some of yous, or reunion or union. But you know, there may have been a little bit of a wobble here in the mind, but it's like this is about, you know, moving forward. The King on a spiritual level here is like more in touch with his emotions, and more, I want to say grounded, but you know, like calm and more centered and focused on where he's needed to be with his relationship with himself and or others. So this, yes, you can. There's a turning around in the way that you're thinking about that with yourself. So this is once again being the King, being more in control and power of his emotions, bringing those calm. So it's like, this is about where I'm heading for you. It's like you may be, feeling like you're not there yet. For some of you, there may be a water sign that is around you that will help you through that, you know, with these emotions on a male level. So I'm hearing like an older male level generally for when the King is there, King of Cups there. It could be like, you know, a water sign that's around a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer energy that's around, because I'm just noticing the Cancer on the, like it's like a brooch, the crab on this, on his robe there, on saying that. So there's something about, you know, friendships there. As well, but I'm feeling like this is about calm, emotional calm, that's bring like, and yes, you can get there, okay. The Ten of Pentacles is in reverse, and there's something coming to an end there, and you may be resisting that. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm saying resisting because sometimes, you know, there's that coulda, shoulda, woulda, didn't. So there may be a little bit of going backwards and thinking that way. But the Ten of Pentacles talks about like more grounding, There's an end to a cycle or a phase of something, that was this phase of whatever is going on, so you can move through. So, and there may be something to do, some of you, this could actually be to do with family and work, or just family, or just work. It could be to do with your health, whatever is going on in there. But there's something that has been a little bit, but there's something, yeah, I feel like there's a sense of acceptance and moving on to the next phase. So it may be that, you know, that you've figured out something, or you've realized something, that actually, you know, I can move, I've accepted what has happened, and I'm able to move on and continue building on my life, whatever I need to do to move forward and look forward into the future, basically, and create it. Because 10 is, in a way, it's like a success in a way of a phase of what you've been working through, where you've been going. So you've been working through something, and trying to figure out, and figuring out, and or will be figuring out, okay, because this is what this is about. The devil here is like, card has come up. There may have been some thoughts and things going on in your mind where you've kind of like some toxic energy as well, toxic thoughts, toxic energy that you've been around. So it's like there is something about that moving, and to learn from that and not let those thoughts get the better of you. So you may be, you know, you could be around some toxic people in your workspace, but it could be in your home yet. But there may be, for some of you, it may be, you know, an addiction that you're working through, or processing at the moment, that you're, you know, it may be near the ends of moving through that. So I love the midst of it, but there's something about success with that, on saying that. So because you have these two cards here, the swords, it's like there's more, you know, there's a new way of thinking. Instead of deception, it's more like reception, you know, to receptive to change, or receptive to love and being calm. So this new moon energy, I wouldn't be surprised in July, which we're up to, is, you know, to, as you're moving through that, is starting to release whatever that stuff is there. And it's like releasing yourself from the bonds that change you from whatever, you know, way of thinking that you have in your around you at the moment, whether it's yours or somebody else's. That's about freeing yourself, because there is success in there. So I'm hearing with the Empress, it's maybe I've turned that around, Spirit, you know, turning that around for you. And so there is a success. So maybe you know, have been like resisting something, or not looking at something. Okay. So here we have the Seven of Swords then. So something is turning around. It's like you're starting to see things from a different perspective. This one here, this Seven of Swords in this card shows, you know, something is like blowing you away, but you're holding on to something that's within you. Because the tree, for me, is about ourselves, symbolic of ourselves. And there's something that's really rooted and grounded in there, but the wind is blowing stuff away from her, so, or from the situation, from where she is. But I do feel like she's looking back at it, you know, because the wind is, what I'm seeing is there is, like, the wind is blowing that way, but her hair is blowing the opposite way. So it's like not going, you know, not looking backward, but moving forward on saying that. So it's really interesting. I never really noticed that before. I knew you see something different every time. And I feel like this is what Spirit are trying to say to you. Like, you see something different about yourself, about this, about that, whatever it is, every time we make a change. Okay, so anyway, there's something blowing away from you. Let it go. So you can move on towards the success, transition. There's talking about a death there with the transition. There's something moving in that process with a caterpillar there. And then we have the chrysalis, and the outcomes from that is the butterfly. So there's something moving. Saying goodbye to something. It could be a behavior pattern, feeling, thought, job, or whatever that toxic situation is, or that addiction that you may have to whatever it is. It could be, you know, to food, whatever it is. I don't know. Not necessarily drugs or, you you know, smoking or drinking or whatever. It could be something totally different, and you know, where you may be having going back and forth always in a relationship or a situation or an experience. It's like it can become, you know, like this little mind, of two minds, you know. And like, do I, you know, move this way or that way, or go, it's whatever. But I feel like something here, there's a turning point there, because it's like something shifts where you're able to think a little bit more clearly, in the sense that, okay, I'm ready to move. Okay, I can't handle this toxic behavior about whatever it is, myself, yourself, somebody else, some situation, place, blah, blah, blah. But something, there's that transition. And I love this, because on a soul level here, look, there's the Three of Wands. It's like, you know, looking out into the future, basically, and ready to discover, explore. And I feel like this can be an about time, like get moving now into the direction of where you want to be going. Because here's the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups here. So it's like looking and leaving whatever it is, the emotional stuff, relations, whether it's whatever sort of relationships it is for you behind in the past that haven't served you any purpose for your highest good. This is about you moving forward, okay, and on upwards and onwards. And I feel like there's 3 more to come, and I feel like they're going to go from this deck. We're going to the Rider-Waite deck here. Just see what comes out. We're going to do, okay, here we go, the Magician. See, this is you. Work your bloody magic, mate. And this one here, I'm going to take that one because it's sticking out. The Emperor. Oh my God. Look at that. That's you too. That's your energy. It's like getting in and working things. You know, the Emperor, you know, the Magician. We're all magicians, but we just got to like find it within ourselves. We all have an Emperor as well. You know, this is a fire sign. The Emperor, like Magician. You know, I feel like it's generally Magician, Emperor. You know, leading the way. You know, he's an authoritative figure who is a leader. So it's like maybe feeling like you've lost your leadership role within you, and you may have like blah, and then thinking, but this is about, so whether you're a male or a female, you've got the Empress there. So they're both about denoting, you know, success in some way or form. So she's, you know, she plants the seed. She's the one that fertilizes. She's been gathering it in this card. She's harvested it. She's ready to go for that next cycle. The Emperor here is sitting there saying, yes, I'm here too. You know, you've just got to take the lead. The Magician there is saying, you know what, don't let, you know, there's a trickster side to the Magician, as well as what there is, you know, and this has come up in the last reading as well, you know, as well as not just the magical side, in the sense that, don't jump, cat. She's going to jump on the table. I can just feel it. She's going to try and jump on here. You know, the magic side, the magical side, and what they, you know, they're talking about here, and when they talk about the trickster, is not being tricked, like not letting yourself trick yourself out of the magic that you have within you. So, you know, that's where they're going with that. So back in the old days, you know, when the 1800s and that, or even the 1600s, it's like this card would be known as the trickster. So, and they're turning it back, you know, when you think about it, what was happening about there with witches and things like that, and wizards or sorcerers and things like that, when they didn't really, especially the witches, I'll go into more so to that, there was not a lot of trust in them, because they used to think they would be tricking them. And yes, there were people that did, and then there were genuine ones, just like there are here in today's world. So, but what the way they're going with this is that sometimes we can, you know, trick ourselves into thinking, feeling, being, doing something, you know, out of something rather than into something that is like not familiar with us, or it's of someone else's opinion, okay, energy. So, and where that devil is, it's like that's where they're going with that little devil in our head. It's like going to the fear side, so talking ourselves out of it. So this is where they're going with the Magician, but they're talking about this, the Magician, in a sense, is like looking at, you know, what you can create, your magic, okay? Emperor is there, is talking to you and telling you, you know, lead by example, lead with what you know, and allow him to be there and to help you do it. Okay, look, and then the Eight of Cups again, just reaffirming, is like letting bygones be bygone, be gone, basically. Walking away from the emotion that is of the past, basically. Things, you know, may not look so bright, but in the background, the moon is shining, the sun is there, and there is, you know, the light shining on those rocks guiding the way. So it's like there is some light there. It's just like, okay, I love how there's the red in there as well. So it's like grounding as well with the cups, but this is about you leaving the past behind, basically, the past emotional stuff, especially. Okay, I really like this. It's really cool. A lot of movement. Might be a little bit, you know, higgledy-piggle there emotionally wise and, you know, whatnot, but hey, it's movement, and it's all, you know, towards, depending on how you look at it, for a greater, better future, depending on the choices that you, and how you see things and the choices that you make, okay, as to how you see things, basically. Anyway, obviously my cat wants to have a say hello and let you know that there's the magic, because I'm hearing, you know, the magic is within you. That's where they go. Okay, anyway, bye for now. God bless you and protect you, as with the angels and your guides and helpers.